Okay, here we fucking go. At least I hope so. Are we live? Okay, we're gonna make sure this is... Hi everyone! Your, longtime favorite Scimital Pathologic, now streamer I guess, is here. Here is Pathologic 3, Quarantine. It is the prologue demo to Pathologic 3 in full. What I'm going to need you wonderful people that have shown up in chat early to do for me is, can you tell me if my audio balancing is okay? Because, like, I have absolutely no idea. I've been fucking around for the last 20 minutes and I think it's okay, but you may need to just tell me if it's not. Yes, of course I'm cosplaying Playhead. Of course I fucking cosplay. What do you expect? Voice is still a little low compared to the sound, so I'm gonna turn up the voice balancing there. How's that? Ugh. Christ. Okay, how's that? Is that any better? Hi Ruby. Hello. Welcome everyone to the Pathologic 3 stream. Please tell me when it's like rebalanced a little bit nicer. I may also just have to, honestly, because this thing's been absolutely a bitch to me. How's that? Is that any better? Please, please, fingers crossed this is better. Okay, sweet. Hello then everyone. If this is an okay point to begin, then we're gonna begin. Right. Good. Thank you, good. Good that it's better now. Hello one and all, and welcome to Pathologic 3 Quarantine. Pathologic 3 Quarantine is the prologue to Pathologic 3. Pathologic 3 is the semi-sequel to Pathologic 2, as the name would suggest. I say semi-sequel because it is in fact just the Dankovsky Bachelor route, but they've changed a lot of the gameplay elements, so this is going to be basically an entirely new game. I was rather unsure about streaming this, or about going into this at all, given some of the recent issues that Icepick Lodge have been having with their founder Dabowski, but that seems to have been, I won't say entirely resolved, but certainly Icepick Lodge are doing a pretty good job at not having an abuser in their ranks anymore, so I'm comfortable to stream this point here, but we'll also see how things go in the future. If things change again, then they change again and we'll see. For now, let's play. Welcome to Pathologic 3. The capital, where the Bachelor returned in disgrace after the Step Town perished. So this is the first time that we've actually seen the capital in full. It looks like... Ooh, that's interesting. It does look like a kind of a early 1900s nebulously Moscow, nebulously St. Petersburg, not really specifically anything. Ooh. Ooh, the graphics have gone a bit funky. We're gonna just double check that something is... That's odd. Alright. So this is a work in progress game. Sometimes the graphics might go a little bit weird, and that might be my computer rather than the official graphics of the game itself, so I apologize if something goes a bit strange. Here we go.
They'll go to any length, Chief, but our lengths are longer.
I have been trying to figure out a way to do the dub in Russian. Sorry, the text and subtitles in English and the dub voice in Russian. I have not been able to find a way to do that so far. This is just the demo. The official one, I'm sure, will have that. Here we go, talking to Serafina. Why aren't you at the interrogation yet, Bachelor? You're supposed to be there already. What happened? Why did you come down here?
We're running terribly low on mice, and the mice themselves are a little feeble. Lacking in enthusiasm.
I would dearly love to change the voice acting. Hang on, Chief. Did they summon you because of Thanatica? Will the order to shut down the laboratory be revoked or postponed? No. I believe I was summoned here because of the Sand Plague. They fear the epidemic might have already spread there, to the capital. So you're that doctor who first discovered this deadly epidemic, the, dirt disease? Is it true that it killed off a whole step town in a week, 25,000 dead? Listen to me, all of this is just hearsay. Please leave our director alone. He has important work to do. And you, Chief, should hurry off now. Your appointment is at 8. No, answer me this, since you're the one in charge. Is it true or not? You said there was disease already in this capital. I never said that. I said they believe the epidemic might already have spread here. That's what I said, and the bureaucrats are usually wrong. Or, not exactly 20,000, strictly speaking. Fewer, and there were 417 survivors, a scant but non-zero amount of hope. We're gonna go with that one, I think. Oof. Is that fucking Aglaia? That's Aglaia. Oh dear. Oh no. Well, that seems thematically appropriate. I don't know how many of you felt like that during COVID, watching the inevitable destruction head directly your way, but I sure did. Day 8, in which the Bachelor says farewell to hopes and tries to flee the doom-stacked town. Once again, back here, the Gorkon remains familiar. You can go no further. Quarantine! Enough cawing. It was I who set up the quarantine in the first place. I'm so tired of running into obstacles that I created myself. I didn't recognize you at first glance. You've changed quite a bit after a week or two in our town. I'm Sava Kremenitz, number 72, the last of the Volunteer Orderlies Corps. Since you're here, consider this my resignation. The last volunteer, the last post, the last frontier. How quickly it all came to an end. You promised to save our town, but all you leave behind are ashes and graves. What lies ahead of you is not the steppe, but a fog of uncertainty. So where will you go now, oh man who lost to death? What a way to talk to me, 72. Grow too fond of your mask? Abide by the protocol and stop with the implications. People whisper rumors that that the only doctor in town plans to abandon them, to flee. The most fortunate, the survivors, already plan their own escapes. Could they be saved? The sand pass should be kept within this town's limits, or else it will devour the whole nation. Some of the survivors might be infected. Quarantine means quarantine. Each decision leads to regret the next day. Each step to the abyss. How can one sleep after that? Vita somnium breve. Nightmares multiply in darkness. It is their nutrient medium, just like blood for a plague. See those bonfires? Those were prepared on my orders to fence off the plague districts, and now they will light my path. The light of salvation burns and then fades. Like hope. Like someone's life on a hospital bed. Do you think you'll manage to escape? She already follows you, trying to reach you. She just won't let you leave. Who is she? The plague? Death? Not that step fairy tale nonsense about monsters again. Could that be someone threatening my lab? You think I have nowhere to go? Then in the capital everything's already lost. You're a fool, Bachelor Dankovsky. Conscience. Of course it's conscience. You cannot run away from your conscience, not even on a train. You'd be lucky to even board that train alive. And what form your conscience assumes, that is on you and your broken imagination. You imply that I imagine that horrific silhouette, the hallucinations of a guilty conscience. It's likely just neurosis. Come back to where you came from, Doctor. Try to become your old self again. Just don't forget the matches. Thank you, 72, if it's really you, for your volunteer service. You too did all that you could. Oh, jeez. We're gonna hide behind here for a little bit, and we're just gonna, whilst the monster is out there waiting in the dark, I'm just gonna make sure that our announcements are all on the go. So, pardon. Let's just make absolutely sure that our... I'm so sorry. I've been a very silly person and forgot to do any announcements of the stream. So we're going to just do that now. Whoopsie doodle. I will of course post the stream to general chat later. Right. Here we go. Oh, did that do anything? Okay. Okay. Okay, I think I see. I see the mechanic here. Oh, that did not last long. Interesting that the plague is being given a lot more of a physical manifestation this time. I don't know how to feel about that one yet. This is all early access, bear in mind, so this is not, you know, the final form of the plague, but it feels now it's more like a monster that I can fight, and I don't want to fight this monster as a player. As Dankovsky, obviously, I want to fight the death itself. And I think that is very much his MO. But this is very much a monster in the dark. Much more so than in the first game, and arguably the second. Because this feels like something almost animalistic, like a monster I can now look at and theoretically defeat, but I guess I'm not really defeating it very well, am I? The stench. Out, I'm going to be ill. Oh god. Well. Interesting. Okay, I like the mask. The day before, in which the Bachelor leaves the capital to venture to the edge of the world. This is Thanatica. This is it. You know the thing I really like about my fellow Thanatica people here is that it feels like a proper Eastern European LARP, you know? We used to keep Calyptra train here. They feed on blood, but the simple fragile butterflies that feed on flowers and light were in fact stronger. Necrophages. But of course. We are dying every minute of our lives. I've challenged this unfortunate phenomenon, an undoubtedly surmountable phenomenon. Is it Oberyk's message? My dear Bachelor Dankovsky, I was dismayed to learn that the powers that be intended to shut down the laboratory that earned its renown through your thanatology research. Is it true they branded your work scientific extremism? If some deem the study of death, aging, and necrosis futile, I have found a case that will silence them and restore your good name. Simon Kane. Sorry, I'm really not doing Isidore's voice properly here. Let's try it again. Simon Kane, the ruler of our town, is a living example of inexplicable longevity. Come at once. This discovery can be a sensation. Save your lab and bring you fame. Your faithful colleague, Isidore Burach. P.S. I have already spoken to Simon. He agreed to assist a scholar of your renown in this endeavor. We have great respect for daring ideas and far-fetched projects. keep knocking beasts of burden. The liquidation order isn't in yet. They've got no right, these talentless morons. All they want to do is stomp someone's face into the ground. They say he stutters outside Thanatica, but I wouldn't know. Grandmaster in chess with death. I wonder what happened to him afterwards. He made great progress in calculations of human life, but failed to calculate a course in academia that would be acceptable to the powers that be. I like these two. I like these two a lot already. They've got a lot of character in their design.
Enough? No, not enough. Never enough.
Do you hear those peculiar footsteps from the stairs? Ominous footsteps. I think they're coming for us. If they catch you here, there's no telling what might happen. You could even be arrested.
Then again, if not taken at face value, but rather, you know.
Shall I continue? The ruling goes on. Your Thanatica, the nation's only laboratory specializing in novel life extension techniques, comes across as a pseudo-scientific wild goose chase. The so-called effective immortality project. There'll be an inquiry based on our results. The Academy's Special Commission, which, as you know, Karlovich is on. They'll wipe the floor with your Karlovich, and he'll throw up his hands like he did with the immunology affair last year. He's not going out on a limb for you. Wasn't him in July going around here saying he was disappointed, or do I have him mixed up with someone? God, fuck, it happens when you're tired. Karlovich will help me if I present clear evidence. Instead of sarcasm, why don't we try thinking? Sometimes it leads to astonishing results. I'm not going to be the bitch Dankovsky. I'm going to be maybe a slightly more... But I do headcanon that this is what he's thinking in his head, is this little smidge of hypocrisy here. Karlovich will help me if I present clear evidence. Oh, but there's more. Has, according to a number of scientists, including Voronin, Ziegler, and Vilanovich, achieved significant breakthroughs. We can skip this part. There. In view of the Academic Council deeming it to lack any prospects whatsoever, the only rational course of action would be to suspend the research, transfer the laboratory to the purview of the Chemistry Institute, and dismiss its staff. I can recite it from memory by now. Perhaps you could retell it in verse, Platon. Calm me down and put things in a broader perspective. I won't let them. It's my life's work. I don't know to what extent you two might say the same. Oh, I'd sooner lose a wife, an arm, an eye than Thanatica. Why does it have to be now? We just got a cellular level reaction. That's the one to go with. You don't have a wife. Given by the way you live, you never will. Fine, no wife, so make it both arms or both eyes. After all, I've got you and Platon. I'll do fine with just my head. Actually, there is still hope, Bachelor. If we present them that immortal man from the Central Step, what was his name? Shane? Even? He's not immortal, but his longevity is quite unique, if his letter is to be believed. Just shy of a century and a half, and he's in great health. No time, colleagues, no time. They're already climbing the stairs. Dankovsky, you need to run. There'll be no commission while you're gone. We can stall the proceedings. Just go. Fetch us an immortal right away. We'll tell them that you're on your way on that trip. For once, the red tape will play into our hands. We'll stall. Reports, orders, you name it. An appeal if all else fails. But if they find you, they'll convene and force us to testify, and we won't be able to wriggle out of it. I agree. If you leave before you're handed the ruling, it's their fault for missing you, but if you wait until afterwards, that is obstruction. They won't miss a chance to hold it against you. They will use whatever pretext they can. They will anyway. Please, they're academics, not Okrana agents. I see, dear colleague, that you're still labouring under the illusion that it's going to be purely academic commission. Oh, for God's sake! Playson, shall we toss them out the window? That's it, they are here. Do you hear those voices? They must be deciding whose head is harder to batter down the door with. Get out! The eastbound train departs at 4:15. You can make it right on time. Thank you. I will not let us down. Oh, wait. One last thing. Have a look at this whilst you're on your way. You've been promising to for 3 months already, but you never found the time. It's a tool for studying tuberculosis, the air humidity thing, remember? Kaufman, Gorski, Anna Stain. Right, those postgraduates with their heads in the clouds. It's long past time that we got rid of them. It isn't. They spent 6 months putting this together. It really does respond to humidity, temperature, and air composition. We've tested it on dust. We've got more pressing issues right now. Case in point, when is report S-104 coming in? You know, the cytological... Is he trying to be funny or what? Get out, Chief! Use the back door and don't come back without your immortal. I'll be back in a week. Aut cum scuto, aut in scuto. We have a prototype. It's not in our inventory in full as of yet, but that's okay. Right, we escape out the back door.
Why do they continue to normalize death?
Stop normalizing death! Wait, just one more thing. One more? What might that be? Take care of yourself, Chief. You're so reckless, head always in the clouds. You don't really know how to fend for yourself, do you? Do you even care about yourself? As if you were any different, Seraphima. We're all doomed without you. Come on, it'll be alright. Enough of this. Are you armed? Why, I'm armed with my vast intellect and a quick wit. As long as I can open my mouth, they won't know what hit them. Daniil, are you armed? Seraphima, do you really believe the steppe is such a wild country? Please just take it with you. It will come in handy. Best I could do is point at someone and pretend it's loaded. It might not work on the bears, though. Well, at least point it, then. You can be very persuasive sometimes, Chief. Best of luck to you. And Platon, Seraphima. Here we go. Alright. Interesting images that we have around here. Things already dead. Look. I'm gonna have to look at these in a bit more depth later. I presume that one of these is an aurochs skull. Again, another extinct dead animal. I wonder if they might bring them back. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Fuck off. Fuck off. You are not letting me... No. Nice that we have the intimidation option. That is actually very, very much what I would like for Dankovsky, is bluff and bluster in order to get out of things. Like, let him be known as a bad bastard man as his reputation goes, but most of it is just, my man is bluff and bluster all the way. Into the central area.
I'm Daniil Denkovsky, Bachelor of Medicine. My research into the limits of human life has brought me renown. I've devoted all my energy and remarkable intellect to combating the greatest fear that binds humanity, the inevitability of imminent death. Seeking proof of my theories, I traveled to a small, steep town to examine a person of phenomenal longevity, Simon Kane. But I walked into a trap. The moment I arrived there, an unknown disease struck the town. It devoured the town like a wildfire. Its contagion and lethality surpassed anything humanity had ever faced. And I became the only doctor standing in the way of this unprecedented pestilence.
I don't know how I feel about that voice acting. I'd like to have the Russian voice acting. with the English subtitles. I think that's probably my preference.
Folders, sticks, whips, and wicks, but no coins. Give them a miss.
Let's go back to your testimony, Bachelor Dankovsky. Testimony? So this is an interrogation, a preliminary investigation. Let's try to remain level-headed. The ministerial inspection of your lab, Thanatica, began in early September. Your presence was required at all times. Instead, you dashed off across the country to a backwater town to bring back what might be described as a person with unique longevity. Or at least the results of his medical evaluation. Yes, this town had an outbreak of some fever the scientific community had no knowledge of. As luck would have it, you were the only medical professional at the site of the event. You were forced to remain there since leaving was impossible. You led the effort to combat the epidemic and evidently took on some field research as well. Accurate so far? Well, not inaccurate. The devil is in the details. You seem to be setting up some trap. You did not succeed. A complete failure. It goes without saying that one would be foolish to fault a medical specialist in a situation like yours. The remoteness, the lack of communication, the hostile environment, terrible conditions for scientific work. What doctor could have possibly succeeded in those? No one blames you. On the contrary, many stop short of just saying I deliberately brought the infection to the capital. Perhaps I should have walled myself in with a lab report pinned to my corpse. On the contrary, many stop short of saying I deliberately brought the infection to the capital. I like this. Perhaps I should have walled myself in with a lab report pinned to my corpse. I said I don't blame you, didn't I, Bachelor? For any of it. Didn't you hear me? Besides, that ordinate from last year... What? That's better. Tell me, if you'd be so kind, what causes your suspicious unease? I wouldn't assume a guilty conscience. I suppose we can't rule out a setup. There's too many coincidences. That letter about Simon lures me to the town. No one shows me Simon. The whole place locks down, trapping me. And while I am left to die, Thanatica is destroyed just before scientific breakthrough. My final hours are spent studying the sand pest. Crafty, I must admit. Are you alone, Dankovsky? My impression is of countless people occupying the same shell over these past 2 hours, one after another. What do you want to know? What could I have done? Alright, my first idea was quarantine. I needed time to study the disease, so I isolated patients in their homes. No, I isolated entire districts. I tried to get at least a day ahead of it. It was spreading too swiftly, and of course I ensured that no one could leave the town. And the steps you took only shortened the lifespans of the settlement. No. Were you always aware of the consequences of your decisions? You refer to popular discontent. I didn't need love from them, only discipline. A difficult surgery can't be performed on a resisting patient. That's why patients get tied up, held down, or anesthetized. Every step I took was justified, or the town wouldn't have lasted those 7 days. You spent 12 days in the Gorkon area. I have my file on the desk here. You, familiarized yourself with it, correct? What I'm seeing here is mistake after mistake. You're too intelligent to not suspect malicious intent here, or sabotage. Mind map's back. Okay, let's go through these one by one. Day 1. The polyhedron in incredible towers overlooking the Bridge Square. The entrance is boarded off and it has no bearing on my task anyway. The local lady, Eva Yam, was nice enough to let me stay with her. Hope. Courage, Dankovsky. Simon Kane is your only chance to save Thanatica. No, Simon Kane. I can't meet that supposedly immortal man. He went to the end of the world chasing nasty rumors, Dankovsky. She was screaming. Something happened at the empty lot in one of the poorer districts, but I can't remember, so the girl gets burned. The bearers hid their faces. I met a strange procession at the cemetery near the evening. Obnoxious little town. Chaos and panic. People have lost their minds. Madness out here. Stabbings, tearing clothing of corpses. They say someone important has died. Leading to day 2. Okay. I'm gonna go through this entire mind map at some point. But you could begin to see how, nice. You begin to see where everything went wrong. That's a very nice mechanic. I'm gonna study this in a bit more depth later. The immortal man is dead. The plague is in town. As if Simon Kane never existed. The powers that be lured me to this town. They knew what was approaching and they're using me. No more clues. Everyone who knew anything about Simon Kane is dead. Presumably we really fucked up somewhere on day 7. Stack Rubin is dead. Olgivsky's daughter told me the last man who saw Simon Kane hides in the warehouse, which is Rubin. So Rubin dies in this run. Oh dear. Oh dear. Everything's gone fucked up in this run for him. Town's beheaded. No more rulers, no more heirs? Everybody died then. Let's see, how did everyone die exactly? I'm intrigued now. No, give me day 9. Give me day 9. No more rulers, no more heirs. Right. Governor Sabarov's wife died at the hands of a lousy doctor. Your hands, Dankovsky. All 3 ruling families are torn apart, broken and plowed over. My god. This has gone really bad. Trying to avenge someone, a local woman named Ravel killed the general. The army's Laura Ravel kills the fucking block in this. Oh no. Oh no. The army then brings in the cannons because, oh dear. Leading to Eve killing herself on day 10. Quite late actually. She kills herself on day 10. She normally kills herself day 7 before the Inquisitor arrives. And then day 11, the town's agony nears its final rest. Day 12 is defeat. So it's actually beginning very similar to how Pathologic 2 begins, in the sense of the game is already lost, things have already gone wrong, and now we're starting again from the start, I guess. Doing another rerun. I get that. That's interesting as a method. Having the Inquisition come in and interrogate him as a framing device is interesting. I quite like that as a framing device. It reminds me a lot of A Young Doctor's Notebook, or sometimes called Morphin.
Your talent doesn't have too many admirers. Everyone's against you. Sagla, Villanovich, Voronin. Shall I continue?
Well, why are you looking at me like that? It's as if you're seeing this for the first time. Facts lifted from their context, twisted into new ones. You know, the worst lie is partial truth. Alright, let's look at the 5th day. Remember when you seemingly admitted the vaccine was possible? You had volunteers brought to you and inoculated them with sandpest. Are you still with me, Dankovsky? Look me in the eye. Are you here? I am here, but I'm certainly not with you. Whose testimony do you even base this on? Who slanders my name? No, this is incorrect from the start. Do you intend to provoke me with this preposterous document? What is your goal, Inspector? Calm your nerves. The very reason you're sitting here is so that we may find the truth. Isn't it? Does it matter? You've said enough in 2 hours to not only be fired from your department, but also tried as a criminal. I won't be intimidated. I'm a doctor, a scientist. Do you hear me? I've come back from the hell of the phantasms of a nightmare could never portray, and I worked there as a doctor. Do you understand? A doctor, not an exterminator or inquisitor, nor a police inspector or army commander. I am a medical professional. The number of people you've personally killed already puts you ahead of many in the army and police. You're an intelligent man, Dr. Dankovsky, one with decisive judgment, unafraid to make mistakes and answer for them, and for that I admire you. Enough with that tone. Don't you grow tired of it yourself? Put this on record. That backwater didn't have a hospital, understand? It did not have a hospital. But it did have a theatre, so I repurposed it, somewhat, into a hospital. I study patients there, creating a vaccine that was a priority. That is what I did. I vaccinated people. An hour ago, you said a vaccine is impossible. Creating a vaccine isn't simple as brewing a cup of tea. The disease mutated fast. The scientific community had never seen anything like it. I had to create a vaccine every day. Do you understand? A new one each time. All the while, I had no equipment, no lab. I had to improvise new methods in a matter of minutes. A theatre. Well, let's talk more about the 5th day after you arrived. Day 5, in which the Bachelor winds the people and has to rewind. Here we go. No goals so far. Oh wait, we're on day 5, so there should be a goal. 5th day in the town. 3rd one at the hospital, the plague runs rampant. I still hope to find a vaccine, but for now... Should be doing the Dankovsky voice, shouldn't I? I actually have to go back to the old register. 3rd one at the hospital. The plague runs rampant. I still hope to find a vaccine, but for now, only the quarantine protects people. Ooh, that's a mood. Playing this whilst several years ago being a doctor that worked through a quarantine. Oof. Oof. Oof, does it hit. Signor, you're here, upon the stage once more. The man who made a hospital out of the theatre will have eyes on him aplenty. Do you know what the orderlies behind your back are whispering? I don't care about gossip so long as it doesn't distract the orderlies from their duties. Your servants will be fine, Signor. Will you? They say you have a seesaw in your head. They picture you a man atop a board, atop a barrel, gun in hand, aiming as you roll and teeter to and fro. A seesaw inside my head. Maybe the rumours have a little truth to them. Extremes, Senor! Extremes can kill you dead. One moment mired in apathy, the next in mania, trying to do everything at once. You're caught between your pounding heart and your 2 hesitating feet. A man of impulse, yet sometimes paralyzed. That there is your seesaw. Well, it's hard not to veer into extremes when a whole town's being consumed by a novel disease. As we stand here in the old theatre, let me then play the doctor and prescribe balance, the golden mean. Though you may yet be swept to Scylla or Charybdis, and even now, what do you feel as you approach the sick? Indifference and gloom begin to burden you. Yes, I feel as though I'm already exhausted, already anticipating failure. The thought alone drains my strength. But you're exaggerating again. If I were really so depressed as to be catatonic, I wouldn't have even started this conversation. With me, you would. For I am but a player, a figment only of your mind. Indeed, Signor, you hardly speak when your heart races or when your mind has gone too quiet. Is it really that noticeable? The strongest treatment is right here, the same we use to numb the hopeless sick. These drugs may work for you as well, but mind that as you take them, you become accustomed to them, and you will need more and more each time. I didn't expect I'd be choosing between using medication on myself or a patient. But there are other ways out as well. A drink and a smoke, perhaps. Things you might not expect can stabilize you. To warm yourself by the fire or wash yourself in cool water. Even kicking a trash bin in frustration. You will know what helps you best. You are a scientist, so, experiment. Thank you, Thespian. It's easy to forget the simplest things. But quite an experiment. Measuring the psychological effect of kicking cans. I will be, sure to report my findings to the capital. And yet, it wouldn't hurt to take some pills with you. Who knows what madness lies ahead? Take something from the hospital supplies. Besides the other fronts you struggle on, there is the struggle within yourself, Senor. What could be harder? You could have just said Medicae curate ipsum. Oh, tobacco. Believe that cigarettes have a calming effect, but nicotine is, in fact, a stimulant. Addictive. With each use, the effect becomes weaker. Mania plus 10. Camphor. Stimulant. Rubefacient. Causes irritation, much like everything in this down place. Mania plus 5. Bromide. Increases the inhibition in the cerebral cortex. In other words, dulls the brain. Sometimes it's exactly what I need. Apathy plus 25. We're playing Addiction Simulator, guys. Strychnine, a poison, which is the same as medicine, invigorating in small doses, addictive. With each use, the effect becomes weaker. Anything in the casebook? No, not yet. Anything in the artifacts? No, not yet. Inventory is what 'tis. The outer scale represents your mind state. Increasing mania is indicated by the scale going clockwise, increasing apathy counterclockwise. Both extremes are to be avoided as they will hinder your health and abilities. Use consumables in your inventory to combat that. So currently we're a bit low. We're on the mania scale. Sorry, we're on the apathy scale.
Rewind.
Ah, nice. That was a bad idea. Okay. Marat Taken. Sorry, Marat Takaken. Takaken? Yes, Takaken. I'm gonna get that, I think, is our pronunciation. If I've got it wrong, please tell me in chat. Marat Takaken, number 28. Started my shift at 10. What's our plan for today, Doctor? There's only ever one plan. Every effort goes towards the vaccine. Right now, we are going to identify the strain. We've been catching those longs, as you instructed. You know, the rare cases where they get infected but resist the sound pest for a long time. We've got 3 again for today, over there on the platform, the stage. Just 3? Shame. Well, I hope none of them are faking it. Yesterday you lot brought in no less than a dozen enthusiastic pretenders. Sava Kremenitz, number 72. I'm an orderly on quarantine duty, and what are your instructions? Yeah. Sava Kremenitz, number 72, quarantine. Sounds familiar. Wait, what were you doing yesterday? We cleared out this place like you ordered. Remember the size of the crowd that showed up yesterday? You said a hospital for doctors, not the sick. No, this won't do. Allow me to correct you. I said we needed space to work. I said the sick ward was going to be at the station now, and then this place would be a research facility. That was what I said. Basically, those who have the sound pest are beyond help. They're supposed to go to the general sick ward at the station to die. You had us give them morphine, laudanum, lead, and whatever else eases their pain. And the patients you wanted us to bring here were the rare ones who hadn't died within 5 hours and could even still walk. I'm afraid this is how history will record my orders, even though I meant something else rather entirely. I'm here to raise a collective complaint. Doctor, these cloaks, they're very uncomfortable, sir. They make it hard to use your hands, and you can't see a damn thing through the mask. On top of that, we've got to burn them every night, because each time that we've been to an infected area... For starters, introduce yourself properly. Judas Maccabeus, no number. I'm not some item you can use. What means my name to you? Indeed, I can see that you aspire to heroic deeds, Judas Maccabeus. Maybe I shouldn't have used the drugs on me. Maybe that was a bad idea. Okay, up to the stage we go, I guess. terminally ill, and I am terminally exhausted, but studying their intercurrent diseases might lead to a vaccine for the plague. Our boy! Son of a local medicine man, medical school dropout, Artemy Burdock, but his hands are so gentle. I have to. Man of the people in the worst sense. Zero education, dozen of opinions. What a blockhead. Don't recognize him yet, so... But I guess we'll see. Nina the Wild and Victoria the Warm. Seems like you could have used the rational one. Oh. Well, conveniently we fell off the stage. That seems, fitting.
The stomach isn't a mirror. Fill it with hay, no one will see it.
Looks broken, Erden. Oh, the miniscope's broke. What did you want with it, Braddock? Made any major advances in that vaccine of yours, Oinon? They say precision instruments help with that kind of thing. Alright, touche, you're quick with your snappy retorts. Let's not rehash that whole whose medicine works argument all over again, or have you managed to create a serum from your herbals infusions yet? Colleague? We're gonna be nice. I've done the autopsies for you already. Numbers 1 and 3 are gunk in their lungs, number 2 are in bronchia. You're saying it's pulmonary now? I'm not saying it's anything. I do the cutting, you do the thinking, right? I have my own storyline where I'm going to do what I deem right, and you'll have only a small part to play. For your storyline, as you call it, you could spend your spare time working here. Like in that quest line that you failed to do. Though honestly, I'd advise you to save those hours for sleep. It's not like my part here has been very significant so far either. Let's see what's in the healing poultice, tobacco, bromide. Morphine, camphor, strychnine, oxbile. Oxbile. Wonder what that does. Oh, nothing in the clock. Okay. Who are you? Yakov Little. Don't recognize this one, so here we go. Could it be yesterday's technique has proved to be the right one? As your assistant, it's my duty to inform you that among the recipients of yesterday's vaccine, there appears to be zero mortality. That is to say, no notifications so far. That doesn't really tell us anything yet, but let's assume at least some have avoided the infection. While you were away, I tried my hand at diagnosing, using your procedure. I do hope you didn't mistake measles for pneumonic plague, colleague. So I noted down symptoms using your approach. I crossed off illnesses based on the principle of impossible combinations, but I didn't really get anywhere. You know, sometimes I try to think like you do. I give my best try at that. I do this so I can understand you just a little, and I fail every time. The way your heads work is a complete mystery to me. Do you have the anamnesis? Sorry, anamnesis. My apologies. Do you have the anamnesis? Look, I don't think... Look, why are you being so cold and snappy with me? I'm not a doctor, you know, just a one-time medical enthusiast. That's why I volunteered to help you. You're right. I'm sorry. I forgot myself for a moment. See, I'm, awfully tired. I barely slept at all for 3 days now. Let me walk you through this once more. I'm all ears. I'm taking notes, actually. I'll say it again. Getting the patient's medical history, or anamnesis. I've never heard it called that as a doctor. Anamnesis? Okay, fair enough. Getting the patient's medical history or anamnesis is your first priority. There are strictly 3 steps. Step 1, interviewing the patient. It always comes first, no matter how tongue-tied or confused they are, no matter how much they get wrong, the information is priceless. Even if they're straight up lying, it is still important. Just like if you were an investigator or a detective. But that's what they do. They lie all the time. All those people we interviewed yesterday and 2 days ago, not a word of truth from any of them. Well, step 2, the physical exam. That part requires your utmost attention, and when we take note of anything suspicious, we do it in the context of what the patient has told us. Any trifling body detail, a scratch, a bruise, a birthmark, might turn out to be important. Turn out to be important. Got it. In step 3, if required, a careful inspection of the surroundings the patient lived in, especially when you feel they're being coy, evasive, hiding something, in a word, lying. Reticence is never without reason. That's when it becomes a good idea to go and inspect their home, talk to their neighbours and their family. It always adds to the picture. Do you understand? Sounds like the job for a sleuth, not a doctor. Look, I'm not demanding that you read minds. All I expect is focus, attention to detail, and knowing when to ask a question instead of jumping to an answer as usual. Ooh, new personnel files. How do I access those? Is it on those? Luther, age 33, married, shopkeeper. Date of admission on the 5th day of the plague. Residence is a flank. She's a smoker and she's presented with a fever. I like this. Not gonna lie. This actually does feel like actual medical work. In a very gamified way, of course, but I vibe. Suspected symptoms. Oh, I have to go through all of this. Oh. Oh. Oh, okay. So I can give various diagnoses. Acute bronchopathy, anemic vasculopathy, Bonkowski's fever, bradycardia, burning fever, consumption, hepatitis influenza, Inc. syndrome, lymphadenitis, measles, nephropathica epidemica, pulmomucus syndrome, serpent syndrome, staph dryness, stone skin, Turin syndrome, staph gastrodermal fever. Okay, actually being a doctor gives me very little in the way of advantage on this, because most of these diagnoses are not real things, but constructed in a way that I really like. I like this. I like this a lot. Finch. 41, single, works as a dyer on the 5th day of the plague. Okay, I like this. Filet, 47, single, terminary guard, residence in the Skinners. I wonder what the exclamation marks mean here. I think they're just new things that I haven't yet seen, but okay. We now need to go and talk to our patients, I guess. I'm healthy, just so you know. I don't have anything. Why did they bring you here, then? I had a fever, that's why. 2 days of it, for no reason. But I'm better now. And I had no scratchies on my skin, no yellowing, no sandpaper scratchies, no drought in the mouth. What circumstances preceded this fever? Our house was cleared out after the infection came. People were sent wherever there was space. Comfort's a luxury right now. Some were lucky and ended up in an empty living room. Some got an attic or a cellar. Us, we were put in the boiler room. When it reached our street, they rounded up the whole caboodle of us to the isolation ward. A boiler room, you say? Was it turned on? Of course. The air was so stuffy in there, I tell you. But there was a silver lining. No sickness can survive that hellfire. Convincing, but I still need to examine you. Please, undress behind the screen. The patient must be examined and their symptoms added to the casebook. Open the casebook. This can also be done during the examination. Okay. So... So she has had a fever. That's the only thing that we really have. Very pale skin. Rarely leaves her home, not much time in the sun. That's not... She's not really got ichthyosis, sorry. She's not got stone disease, itchy skin. But no, she's just got pale skin. She works as a shopkeeper, so that kind of does make sense that she's not going to be spending a lot of time out in the daylight. Her heart rate's only 65, so she's not got tachycardia. Okay. Back. Arms. Oh, hematoma. Maybe she bumped into something. Maybe it's a symptom. Should ask where that bruise came from. So she's got hematomas. Other side of the arms. Nothing. Legs. Nothing. Legs reverse. We're spending a lot of time examining her. Okay, exit. You done with your exam, Doctor? Can I go now? Absolutely not. Examination with no questions can only happen at a morgue. I told you everything the last time, but if you say so, you're the doctor. Come here, Mr. Little. Let's fill in this patient's record together so that at least a modicum of knowledge settles its place in your head. Tarkovsky, don't be a dick. Allow me to call my assistant in. I'll use your example to show him how to proceed during an appointment. You called, Mr. Dankovsky? I'm here and ready to heed. So, Mr. Little, we have a patient here. She's claiming to be in good health despite having had a fever a few days ago. Do we take her word for it? Well, if she's had a fever, there must be a reason for it, and we have to find it. Remember this. The patient's self-evaluation may be incorrect. That's why you must ask specific questions about the symptoms, about what's come up during the exam, and about the patient's circumstances in daily life. I think I get it, in theory. God knows how it plays out in practice. I will demonstrate. Observe and learn, Mr. Little. I won't be around forever. Patient is running a temperature, in other words, a fever. Open my casebook, look up fever, and tell me how many conditions is it listed as a symptom of. Influenza, burning fever, consumption, measles, tularemia. I can't even read the one after that. It's an absolute tongue twister. Oh, shit, there's so many of them. 8 diagnoses fit the bill. It's a frequent symptom, which means that you have to find others and narrow down the search. Then do it again and again until you are left with just one verdict. This, Mr. Little, is what is known as a differential diagnosis. The name is self-explanatory. We differentiate between similar things to find the only correct solution to our problem. Can't wait to give the method a try. Let's get down to it then. You look pale, Mum. Has your skin been like this since birth, or is this pallor recent? It's not like I get to look in the mirror a lot, living in a boiler room and all. But I don't think I've ever been pale. Rich do-nothings are pale. Me, I'm a commoner. So pallor isn't typical for you. We're marking that as a symptom. Mr. Little, add pallor to the fever in the record, and what do we get? Mere 2 conditions. It's down from 8. It's like magic. I can't actually open the journal, unfortunately, but I'll do that in a second. A single symptom, pallor, eliminated 6 of our 8 candidates. We are left with a choice of just 2. Where did this hematoma come from, my good lady? I mean the bruise over here next to your wrist. Did you bump into something? Or is there someone who batters you? Don't worry, there's nothing to be embarrassed of when seeing a doctor. I'm not embarrassed. A bruise? Well, that's news to me. I've never seen it before. And I can't remember anything like what you're talking about. I certainly wasn't beaten up. Must have just bumped into something myself and forgotten about it with all the fuss. The boiler room's dark and cramped. That's probably where the bruise is from. Mr. Dankovsky, I'm seeing this hematoma, this fancy bruise is on your list. Are you with us, Mr. Little? Pay attention. She doesn't remember how she got the bruise. She can only guess. The manual provides a more detailed description of the illness for a situation like this. What causes it, who is susceptible, etc. It can give us useful clues. I'm familiar with that. Susceptible means high-risk groups, right? Practicing medicine takes more than checking symptoms against a list for the school by his diligence. You have to bring your reasoning into it. Here's one way to do it. Tell me, my good lady, do you garden? Do you grow anything? Anything at all, from roses to cucumbers? Cucumbers? Roses? I'm not following you at all now, Doctor. No, I've never liked digging and shoveling earth and all that. There, earth. Does the boiler room you've been relocated to have an earthen floor by any chance? That's right, it does have an earthen floor. The boiler room isn't really suited for living in, but these times I'll be ungrateful to complain. How'd you guess, Doctor, about the earthen floor? So why do we need that little detail? What does the floor matter of all things? It's simple. All kinds of things can be found in your local soils, including microorganisms capable of disrupting circulation, hence the pallor. The bruises were not caused by trauma. Hematoma appears when blood vessel walls are damaged, either by an external force or, as in this case, an illness causing them to leak. And the infection can be contracted from contact with the earth. And we have now found our diagnosis. You're a genius, Mr. Dankovsky. But have you picked up the logic? What to do? In what order? Interview, examination, follow-up interview. Then you consult the casebook. Bravo to you, Dankovsky. You're a true master of medicine. So the patient has the sand pest alongside... What's the other diagnosis? Talked you through it all. You can finish it yourself. The symptoms are fever, pallor, and a bruise. Put them together and you'll get your result. What about me, Doctor? Where am I to go? What happens next? Thank you for the opportunity to do a very educational physical exam. You cannot teach medicine without actual patients. So she has fever, hematomas, and where's pallor here? I would have put pallor under skin examination, but am I just being fucking stupid? Am I being very stupid? I didn't see pallor. Chat, where's pallor? Is that under heart? Paleness! Oh, fuck me. I was looking for the word pallor. And I just missed it. I'm very smart. I'm very, very, very smart. I promise. Anemic vasculopathy. Okay. Diagnosis determined by Dr. Dankovsky. I'm very dumb. Alright. Okay. Now what? Are you gonna burn me? Even if you're going to be burned, I promise you're not going to be burned alive. Where'd you get that idea? It's not exactly a secret. The whole thing's like putting out a wildfire. If someone's house is under suspicion, it's torched. If someone sneezes, the entire town's district's sealed off. Sick and healthy folks alike. And when there's doubt about a healthy person is the isolation ward, then those who do have the sand pests are marched off and burned. What were your ailments before the epidemic broke out? I didn't have any constitution of an ox. Really, none. A cold, maybe? Weak spells, fainting, rashes, mottled vision, occasional itch? Mr. Tiny here told me I could be useful to you before I die, that is. Said you can find something inside me that slows the pest down. So go ahead, find it. What do you need? Do you want to draw some blood from me? Alright then. Where do they bring you in from? I walked here from home. Caught it from my neighbours. Knew as soon as the skin on my chest started peeling away. So I waited a day. The neighbours' screams stopped in the middle of the night. I went to check on them in the morning and they were all dead. Me though, I was alive and walking and now I'm here. Why do you need to know that, Doctor? You truly are an honorable person. I admire your courage. But questions are more valuable here. Might come in useful. What is your vocation? I'm a dyer. I've been breathing in poisons for 5 years now. One day it's red, next is blue, then yellow. Could that be why this fever of yours doesn't do anything? It's not very likely. Take off your clothes. Let's do a physical examination. Peeling skin, he mentioned. Oh, he's tachycardic. Right, okay. Rapid pulse. Ichthyosis. Bleeding ulcers. Right, let's just double check. Is it going to be listed as... What's this going to be listed as? Most likely eczema. Okay. We're going to put down eczema. Got burning fever. Okay. Heartbeat's too fast, but that could be a personal trait. Am I going to put down eczema on that? I don't know. Arms. Nothing. Arms reverse. Nothing. Legs. Looks like a little bit of bruising of the legs, actually, but... Something wrong with the liver. Yellowing of the skin. We're just going to say that he's got, for certain, yellowing of the skin, rapid pulse. Okay, okay. Not altogether clear yet. Have you sorted it out, Doctor? Will I be useful in your remedies? My vaccine. It's a vaccine that I'm working on. And please allow me to ask you a couple of clarifying questions so I can be certain of a diagnosis. It's a plague, of course. It's a sound pest thing, isn't it? The plague, yes, but there's another condition that is prolonging your life. You said it yourself. Your neighbours didn't survive the night, but now you are holding up admirably. Well, blow me down. 2 ailments making me healthier than if I only had 1. You know best, Doctor. What do you want to do? Question me, right? Question all you want. The skin on your foot is yellowing. Liver conditions could cause this. Have you ever noticed anything like that? Yellowing on my foot? That's dye, Doctor. I'm a dyer. A tab spill once. Here's the burn. It's hold and it's healed over time. Smaller and paler than before. Yakov? Little? Where is he when he's needed? You should see a symptom disproven. He's always putting all sorts of things into the chart, diagnosing every disease in the world. Is that all, or have you got more questions? You complained that the skin on your chest was peeling. It was here, right? On the very middle. I knew it right away. Skin turns nasty when you played, right? Well, it's eczema. That much is obvious. The symptom can indicate one of 2 diseases. Now to tell them apart. More questions. Ask away, Doctor. Give me your hand, please. I'll take your pulse. I believe I've noticed your heartbeat behaving erratically. It's too fast. It began running fast not too long ago, Doctor. I can hear it myself thrashing like it's caught in a snare. Too fast indeed. So what now? It's all clear? Your pulse and the eczema together to give a clear picture, yes. Finally! I was afraid I'd kick the bucket without helping any science. I can pinpoint the diagnosis now. These 2 symptoms make it certain. So we are taking off the yellowing of the skin. Burning fever. Yeah, I vibe with this. Final one. And that's why the story of my life and times up to the present moment. But why do you want all these details from me? Half hour's worth of talking, and that was all besides the point. Thought you'd be interested to know why the sandpest can't get me, because I certainly find that fact interesting. I'd even say amazing. None of what you told me was beside the point. Everything was important, especially your chicken pox at age 6. This is very familiar to medical work. Half a fucking hour, Dankovsky. You could do that in 10 minutes. Are you a competent professional? Sure you're not overstating my importance, Doc. Right. Well, Gumsky caught the termitary shot, and you've been guarding it for 6 days since Tuesday. This is the third time you're asking me. May I ask why you distrust me so? The termitary is a town within a town. Almost 3,000 workers. What did your authorities fear that made them lock so many people inside? Who knows? At first they said there'd been a blowout of some kind of sweet soot settled on the walls. Later it looked like mould. Well, Kid was worried. Like bees in how they respond to things. As soon as one makes a noise, the rest are unquiet as well. There was a mighty buzz in the hive, perhaps on account of the poisonous soot. Conditions are tough at the cannery, you know. What's going on then now? They're shouting, lots of clamour, a nasty kind of clamour too. It's what you'd expect. They're not having a great time stuck in there like pickles in a jar. No regular meals, not enough drink to go around either. Place is, after all, a poorhouse. Our fat man treats his people like cattle. And through the day is a struggle. Small wonder they're slamming into walls. If it was up to me... If it was up to you, then... what? Not the way you treat your patients, though. Not useful. Not useful to get into an argument here. Let's pretend to side with them. Let's get a bit more information out. So they're disgruntled. One does wonder why that would be. Can't lock up a living creature against his will. It's how you turn people into proper beasts. But try so much as hinting at that to our old Glimpsky. Yes, man. They're dead drunk on power. Used to be alright working with them, but now I can't stand those guardsmen. Okay. Alright, let me ask you this then. What time of day do you feel worse than usual? All the time. I used to be hardy as a bull wrangler, but now I have trouble even standing up for long. I get drowsy. My knees give out. It's embarrassing. I feel like I'm failing everyone. Have you been easily fatigued like this for a long time? I don't take a great interest in my own person, Doctor. I've got enough people to spend my attention on as it is. But I have trouble doing my job because of this. It's a rugged man's job. This rope, down to your undergarments, my good guardsman. I'm going to examine you. Since you're so preoccupied with my work as a security guard, here's my advice to you, Doctor. You're being too heavy-handed. This lockdown of yours is making people seethe. And a cauldron can only seethe for so long before the lid flies off, even if you screw it down. We're in the middle of an epidemic. The quarantine is a necessary measure. Please stop breaking fucking quarantine. So we know a little bit about it already. He's got... let's see... general weakness. Strange redness. Rash, bites, something else. There's red spots on his face too. Red spots on the skin. I'm going with what the game is telling me, that redness, skin redness and rashes kind of are the same thing, so like... Also, bradycardia is not a... that's not a medical condition. That's a symptom. That is just a describing of a thing. That's just a low heart rate, which I'm gonna not be a bitch about this. I'm gonna not be a bitch about this. Fine. Okay. Arms. Reverse of the arms. Legs. The veins are damaged, but how old is the damage? We're going to take the rash off for now because it's not altogether clear. Okay. Let me go, will you, Doctor? I don't understand all this commotion about me. What makes me so special? Besides, I've got work to do. Work? I am sorry, but you're going to have to forget about your work for now. You must remain at the hospital. I used to guard locked up people, and I've been locked up myself. It's life for you, isn't it? Kind of joke that life plays. There's nothing to debate here. You can't stop a plague outbreak without putting strict measures in place. But let's be personable. You have no idea how sick I am of all the jokes life plays. Oh, I was just musing to myself. What do you want me to do? Do I need to give blood or maybe take a pill? Before we get to the blood and the pills, there'll be more questions. Are you ready to answer a few? I've told you my entire life story, Doctor, and you still want more? Ask away, then. The veins in your legs don't look very healthy. Have you ever noticed that before? My legs? They're that way from all the time I spend standing up. It's my job as a security guard. 16 hours of standing every day, and the old Gimskis won't spare a stool for us to sit down. Says it's not the proper way. Bad for discipline. Working as a guard can easily cause a mundane case of varicose veins. On the other hand, at least 3 promising diagnoses on the vaccine front manifest as vein issues. Quite lost in thought, Doctor. Am I really that complicated? Can't wrap my head around the old me being at the centre of this brouhaha. There's a syndrome that fits the description, but it mostly affects drunks. So, I'd like to ask you, good sir, do you consume alcohol? Do you do it on a regular basis, and in what quantities? A quantity best described as God forbid. In my line of work, you must be alert, so my basis hasn't been regular since last year. Quite the contrary, it's been abstaining. Can't stand it drinking myself. Your moral fibre is of no concern to me. To drink or not to drink is a personal choice. Mine is purely a medical interest. I'm telling you, it's not regular. I don't have the habit. Period. No, I can't in good conscience put my stamp on a diagnosis. I don't have enough information. Not without home inspection or neighbours' testimonies. I'm going to need to inspect your house, sir. My house? Why on earth, Doctor? I can understand talking to me, filling me up from head to toe, collecting my blood, but searching my home like I'm some bandit? What did I do wrong? You're not at fault at all. If anyone is to be blamed here, it's me for not spotting enough symptoms for a definitive diagnosis. Well, well, well. Not at all what I expect from a man of medicine. Going off to break into my house. Imagine that. Don't worry, I won't touch anything. I just need to have a look around. Where was he? And he lives in the Skinners, right? Oh. How do I do that? Okay, how do I get there? Do I just have to... I'm gonna have to walk there, yeah? Let's just have a look at his... So he's got weakness, he's got vein damage. We're trying to decide between the two here, and I'm not... Okay. I'm not going to put a distinct diagnosis on this yet until we've absolutely confirmed. I do like this history, examination, investigation is what you should be doing as a real-world doctor, in that order, and the investigation here is usually in real-world medicine, x-rays, blood tests, that kind of thing, but here, our investigation has to be, well, what we see in the step. Worms, her bride, kids. Well, a kid. Urkeni birid banagia mende ardam. Amaka medenogie karaogib. He wishes you many years of life, Erdem. No. Must be neurofibroma after all. Is it facial edema? You can't diagnose this, Stankovsky. Let's just be nice. Really? To me, it sounded like he was asking a question. He asked, could it be, Erdem, that if your kindness were weighted against your wisdom, the wisdom would outweigh it? That is his question, more or less. I don't know your language, but I'm pretty good at telling... No, tell him not to worry. Wisdom would be the heavier one, for certain. Where are the bulls from yesterday? Shi Yamar, Enayade Pichi, Bukhandi and I, Kanab? Amaha. The bulls were stolen, Erdem. Kalish Terinde, Bukhanid Yukud Bakhana Bolocho. Or maybe your bulls perished even. Mother Bodo knows where. So have they died or have they been stolen? You're disassembling. Stop it. Bukara. Giha Shalakash Erdem. Look, I will return in an hour, and if they are not here... People in masks? People? People? Question marks? In masks? The locals don't even turn their heads. That's just how they dress around here. I suppose our big city ways would seem just as wild to them. Oh, we're gonna have to pass through maybe one infected district to get there? Is that a sensible idea? While apathy is high, time itself, the will to live, and amalgam slipped through my fingers. Without amalgam, the other days of the story become inaccessible. Consumables can be kept within reach to use pocketed items. Okay. Whoa! Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh dear. Oh dear, that's not good. Okay, we're gonna use...
More thoughts. More thoughts.
Oh dear, I may have made a mess of that. How am I supposed to leave a district, find the archers with the clocks? Okay, so that's the route that we have to go. Is that genuinely the fastest way? Can I not just... That seems a... Why can't I just go through that? Well, okay, this is what the game wants me to do, so that's what we're going to do. Oh, because it will dump me at the nearest quarantine. Okay, right. Dangerous districts require attention. They cannot be traversed around using the map. Okay. Clara, what are you doing here? My slacker assistants, the mortality rate among them. Those poor devils are looters. They just kept on coming today. There was a rumour that an out-of-town bandit who was packing firepower had been getting busy here, until suddenly he wasn't anymore. Can't shoot the sandpest, you know. But everyone fancies a firearm these days, so they're flocking to his mortal remains like moths to a flame. Did you lot find him, the fellow with a gun? Why bother finding that scum? He's lying around here somewhere waiting to be collected. We've got enough on our plate right now with these would-be scavengers. No time for revolvers at all. Do you want extra patrolmen here? We're managing fine for now. Those moths had a little ammo on them and some pilfered odds and ends. One fool had stuffed his knapsack full of tin spoons. Probably never seen real silver in his life. Everything of value's been sent to the town hall. We kept the ammo. Right, hand over the ammo every last round. Will do. How did this charming lady end up here? The charming lady, Doctor, has an interesting knack for showing up at a place as soon as the sandpest hits it. We've noticed it 3 days in a row now, so we detained her. We're not sure where to put her for now, but she's quite talkative and we were rather bored in here. Quite interesting indeed. Come hog over prop to hog, right? Oh.
Look at my hands. Ignore the dirt. Just focus your gaze.
Okay, Clara. Hello once more. Listen to me, Bachelor. Please just set our differences aside. They're accusing me of being the Sand Plague itself. Once I learned that you woke up on the eve of the epidemic in an empty grave with no memory, you seem like a perfect candidate for patient zero. Don't you laugh at me? You know I'm helping you. We're in this together, working towards one goal. We're just different, so we do it on our own ways, however we can. You deal with prayers and mesmerism. What other medieval remedies do you have? Celandine goat kidneys? While we're at it, how are you spreading it? Just yesterday, you were hissing at me and assuring me that you have power over death, that you hold us all in your hands, that you can bind and destroy. Didn't you? Remind me, please. That wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was my double, my twin sister. I didn't know. I've told you. And that Harrispex of yours too. He didn't believe me, for some reason, even though he did see us two together. These are the orderlies that arrested you, right? If you came from the outside of the district, they would have just sent you away, so you must have snuck in from the inside. It's the other way around. I feel where the infection will erupt next, and I go there to help. Please, you have to believe me. I'm tired of these ridiculous games. You're a big girl, Clara. It's time to answer for what you have done. If anyone, it's she who is ruining my reputation, my twin sister. She must be here somewhere. Try looking around. You might be able to catch her. Will you believe me then? No one has ever seen the two of you together, not even Barak. Neither will I. That sounds like a side quest. Difficult case. Diagnosis was clear, but the patient denied a symptom. I need to visit the home to find it. Oh. What do I do? Oh. Plague, what's here? What does this do? The ones lying on the ground cannot be saved, only relieved with suffering. If I help that pass from the world, I can take their time for myself. Oh! Oh. Interesting. I'm liking these mechanics so far. Also... Ooh, deterioration.
Thoughts galloping.
Okay. Okay, I don't quite understand what I did then. But I think I stood in a plague area. Can I go into the houses? No. Okay, she does not like me being there. Whoa, whoa. Oh shit. That was a bad idea. They just vanished from view. Just... What did that do to me? Oh, that did a lot of damage to my health. Okay. We can't fuck around here. Okay,
Half a tone louder.
smoke a little bit more and not walk into plague people. Why are you a ghost? Oh. Okay. Corpses, corpses. Right, so we need to not go too near. I like the ghosts of the people that used to be here walking around because Dankovsky's a little bit uncoupled from time. Am I causing myself... Am I doing damage to myself when I do that? Is there like a limitation of the amount of time? Whoa! I don't know if that does anything. Okay, that's an interesting way to do the mechanics of this. I also don't... Oh dear. Interesting though. Right. Here they exchange microbes. The locals are used to barter though. Oh dear. Well, like, at least I can actually run around again rather than get stuck in apathy. It does feel suitably cacophonous, you know? Like there's... That's the wrong word to use. Cluttered. Messy. Real. Human. Like, I like how messy the world now is. The original town in Patho 2 had a lot of mess to it. Really? Dang, the only way to get through this as Dankovsky is really to chain smoke your way through it all. Fucking hell.
could use some quiet.
What does that do? This is... I just mopped that floor and now you're walking all over it. Took forever to scrub clean, you know. Apologies, I'm not a very good walking... Sorry. Ooh. Let me do that line again. Apologies, I'm not a very good at walking in a handstand. My leg always veers off to the left for some reason. Stop that clowning, will you? First, he's turned the bathroom upside down, but it's our only one for these apartments. People wash their kids here, take their own baths on Tuesdays and Thursdays. They keep it clean. And now there's you with your remarks. But you're a pal of Philip's, aren't you? Philip's in the hospital now. He's under observation, and I'm here to find out how he got sick. So Philip's in the hospital. Perhaps it's for the best. Have you been living in the same house for long? Do you know him well? We've known each other since we were kids. He was like a brother to my husband. I helped him out his whole life with cleaning and cooking and whatnot. He was a loner with no one to take care of him, and it wasn't too much trouble for me. We were neighbours after all, and friends. Philip was lucky to have you. At this rate, he'll soon start to envy people who live in these small towns where everyone knows everyone. We drifted apart a little as time went on, but he used to always thank me. Then, one day, it was like a bam, he forgot everything. Never said a word anymore, scurried past me to his apartment, eyes down, no hello, no goodbye. But he sure showed this bathroom who's boss. So this sort of frenzied rage isn't typical of Philip? He'd never trashed anything before, and he was otherwise well behaved? What kind of person is this typical of is an easy guess. You often get this with drunks. One moment he sits there quietly, and then he's delirious all of a sudden. With all this ruckus and mess, at least he didn't punch anyone out. Has he been a drunk for long? Was this his first delirium tremens episode, or has he had them before? He didn't drink before, but go ahead and look out of that window. Town's falling to pieces. It's enough to make any saint start drinking. It's like people have gone crazy. Some grabbed a bottle, some grabbed a knife. It's hard to stay human. Everyone's inner beast is looking to break out. So you know for certain that Philip trespassed in a drunken haze, or is this just what you're assuming? Well, what do you think happened? Didn't it just trash the shared bathroom? He was sick all over it. The whole place was a mess. I never thought I'd get it clean. How do you know what it's like to mop up someone else's vomit? How would a smart dresser like you know that, eh? I went to medical school, my good lady. The quantity of vomit I used to cart around is more than this entire house could disgorge. I figured out everything out you needed. I'd like to finish with the cleaning here. Kids from downstairs will be here soon to wash their hands before eating. They'll be better off if they don't see this mess. Just a minute. Is there anything else you can tell me about Philip? Do you happen to know any illnesses that he's had in the past? Chronic or acute? Just whatever you can remember. No. Man was never sick. Strong and tough as a cart horse. And I mean, I could easily imagine him pulling an actual cart. That's why they hired him to guard the old Gibsky meat cannery back in the day. You two talked more often at that time, right? If you ask me, Philip may be built for the job. But it's not a job for him. Termitary needs security to make sure the step brutes aren't beating about town. But he was getting sentimental about them. That's why he and I fell out. We argued about whether worms and herbivores were our equals. Some security guard. Bigotry never goes out of style, does it? He argued with me too about whether it's his right to keep, or whether it's right to keep people locked in the face of a looping epidemic. About whether people should ever be isolated for their own good. What a thing to say! Stop trying to confuse me. I don't have time to pick your philosophizing apart anyway. I've got a bathroom to finish cleaning. Philip got into philosophizing too, and it both destroyed our friendship and made him an alcoholic. There's no good in that. Can we go back to his drinking once more? Your delirium hypothesis is logical, but it's still only conjecture. In fact, this denial of drinking habit sounded very sincere to me. He wants to confess to something shameful like that. The thing is, lifelong sots are proud of it. It's the new made ones who are ashamed. I hope he's ashamed. It's anyone's darn guess if he is. It's like he's become a completely different man. For all I know, he's lost all sense of himself at this point, gone completely off his rocker. Off his rocker? There's something new again. Are you just talking about the bathroom incident, or is there any other evidence that he's off his rocker? These episodes, you know, before he has to trash the bathroom, I hear this muttering coming from behind his door every night. And he lives it alone, no family, no one visits him. My husband and I used to be his only friends. He started talking to himself, and that's a sure sign. You may be right after all. The hallucinations do point towards delirium. Well, are we done now? I have my limits too, you know. Mopping floors is hard enough, but bad-mouthing a former friend is harder. I'm sorry for the poor dummy. Where's Philip's room? I'd like to take a look before I go, after all. It's further down the hallway. Here's the key. Got work to do. Been breaking my back for half a day here, and whose fault is that? A fool who's also a drunk now, poor soul. If we look at the vein issues again, in case Philip was wrong, then there's only one diagnosis left, but still, I must check his room, or why else did I all come this way? Does that really leave only one diagnosis?
I'd rather not hear this.
Sayan Baina, Arndab. Well, this is news. The neighbor told me that Philip lived alone. Baishinya Garga. Bikaranab, you're angry. She yunde ripshi. I have no idea what you're saying. No, don't be a dick in Latin, Dankovsky. I have no idea what you're saying. Hello, Erdem, I said. Why have you come? Right. Erdem, is that what you call scientists, right? I've got nowhere to go. Baichaldai. Don't kick me out, Erdem. Are you Philip's son? You don't look much like him. I'm not going back to the Warren. Oh, you must be from the termitary. You're just who I need. You people call it the termitary. I damn Nihirin, you smell like danger. Bolish bayalish, go your own way. Will you tell me what's in there then? In detail, please. People are there, Katang. What else do you want? We live there. How did you get past? No, you're hiding your eyes, lad. I don't think you're telling me the whole truth. Look, it's better if you just don't joke around with me. I'll tell, just let me go. There's a crawl hole out of the Warren. That guy Philip watches it. Let me go around the angry guards. Terenamai Abara. Why didn't you just stay there? No. Lakai Philip seems like a savvy fellow himself. How much did he charge you for his help? No, these are the wrong lines of questioning. What is inside that place? Please, give me the full details. My patience and time are running out. Medene oiki, hara oikub. So, Philip took you in. That hallucination of his was you. It was you he was talking to in the night, not voices in his head. Akai Philip took in, hid, sheltered, so no one sees, no one returns me to the Warren. Be bayare huregeb. Talked quietly. Zilge nogon, yaza shasherneb. So no one hears. Trying to sight read a language that is not entirely real is quite hard. This is based on several different real-world languages, but it's not actually any single one of them. I am really, really sorry if I have mispronounced a lot of these. I am doing my absolute best. Your neighbor heard anyway, but don't worry. She thought Philip was out of his mind. If you keep quiet, she won't notice you. Where's that guy Philat? Yun Bolob? How is he? Finally, some sensible talk. He's in the hospital. He's ill. I'm a doctor and I need to find out what he's ill with. Will you help me? I will. Namda Tailakati Yaratib. Kai Philat sickens. I saw it. He sickens. Does Philip drink vodka, wine, the step herb infusions of yours? At first glance, I didn't see a single bottle. Not a drop. Strict on himself. Doesn't allow me neither. Kalin Shengi Katu. Huh. So the neighbor was mistaken after all. Perhaps she wanted to be mistaken out of spite. Reason doesn't really matter though. What matters that he wasn't drinking. How else can I help? Sevakai Philater them. Bishamha Asunab. Stay put. Don't you dare sneak away. I need to look around and then I'll ask you more in a little bit. Interesting. It's not Turin syndrome then. But we can take hallucinations off the list. Bradycardia. I don't see anything in here. Nothing that I can interact with at any rate.
It was quiet in Thanatica.
Is there anything else I can do around in here? So can I save my game? No, I cannot. Investigation to clarify the diagnosis. Yeah, but where are the other clues? I don't... But rags. No label on the pills. So he's had a fever for a few days before. I guess. Okay, now that you promised to help me, will you tell me what happened to Philat? I will. Namda Tilkebiki, Tilkegi Yiritabe. Akai Philat sickens. I saw it. He sickens. I found some pills. They're medicine, but what are these? Who's taking them? We don't use these in the step. Bibata Bekir Medeni Guib. Akai Philat said they are so the head doesn't ache. Okay, another symptom. Good. His head hurt. Terezoboho. The rags in the bed look like they were used in a compress to bind something hot or cold over an injury. Do you know anything about that? I do. And the hain and Nagalki. A guy Philip was hot, tossed and turned. I put cold on him. So he had a fever. He didn't mention it during the interview. Tere Dakegi. I worry for him. Stay put. I need to look around some more. Fever. And a headache. Where's the fever? And do we want to put fever? Weak weakness, fever, headache. That's just opened up the diagnosis. Hasn't really closed it at all. Even rats would probably be disgusted by the moldy bread here. No one would eat it. This is very nice. I do like the kind of like the mind map kind of vibes of this. Well, let's see. There's something rotten on the table. Did you eat this? Is this what made Filet vomit? Hungry. We need it. Monkey gi. Akai Filet's not rich. Bus Vlad pays the guards so little. Charu. It was enough for one, but not enough with me. Hard to feed two. Akai Filet walked, looked for cheap food. They cheated, sold rottens. No need. I can understand the difficulty of your situation. Noble deeds come with a cost. This is scary, heard them. Be a cab. Never thought to eat the rot. Even Akai Filet forbade. Then his hunger came crazy like. Ileshkelen. Grabbed everything, gobbled everything. I took away, hid, told him bad, rotten will hurt. He didn't listen, like possessed by some hungry beast. And you'd never noticed such indiscriminating behavior before. A change in feeding pattern is certainly telling. Never saw a man wolf bad food like that. Nays Getty. Okay, I didn't. Okay, adding bulimia to the symptoms. Okay, I think we've got enough for a diagnosis there. At least as far as I can tell. It looks like that's the only one that really adds. So we've got... Ooh, hold on. Take headache off. Just to be absolutely sure. We have... Oh no, we do have that confirmed. We got weakness, fever, headache and bulimia confirmed, so nephropathica epidemica. Okay, no. Yes. Okay. Yes. Is there anything else that we've missed here? I suspect there is, but I evidently need...
Yes, this is a migraine.
There's gotta be something else around here. I ate the scraps anyway. That's interesting, because we could have come to completely the wrong diagnosis if we were not thorough. I don't see anything else that would really assist us in this. It's just... I don't believe I'll find anything else in this abode. I'm no detective after all, but now we must discuss my findings. Are you ready? Felix hallucination? Okay, I feel it's not crazy. Don't joke about this, Erdem. What's this mousetrap doing here? Is it just in case, or are there actually mice in this place? Along Kulaganud, Hedi, lots of them, bold. Walk here like it's their home. Mice and rats spread disease. The diagnosis is coming to mind at once, but I need to double check. Townsfolk live in houses cool as beasts. cleaner in the steppe, better. They know nothing to nekrzon. So, mice, headache, fever, hunger, and the vomiting, fatigue, and skin reddening. The veins are ruled out, but what happened in the bathroom? The neighbor says that Philip drunkenly... No, he doesn't drink. Urte kenner. He'd eaten bad food, couldn't keep it down, didn't want to make a mess in here, so he went where he could do it. And there, water's there for washing. Akai Philip said water scared him. Heard the dripping, went crazy. Can a man be scared of water, or them? Jan is life. Got scared of water for no apparent reason and trashed the bathroom. That is an extremely rare symptom. That should sort this all out. That only confirms our theories more.
Every creak like a gunshot.
Okay, I think we have a good idea then. Oh, the kids. Hello. Strychnine? Oh, that's useful to have then. Excellent. And now I need to get back to the hospital. See, can I actually go into the shops? Or have I just gone entirely the wrong way? I mean, I guess I could go into that other one. My god. You can see just at the top of the screen there, Dankovsky's apathy issues are getting worse. So that gate is closed. Why is that gate closed? Okay. So we have to go back the way we came then. Fine. I don't think this will entirely lead us back the way we came, but I just want to have a little explore of the town that I've become so familiar with over the years. Dankovsky, don't get too broken. It's okay. Just use a little. I need some more smokes. Honestly, that's what I need to do. Also, we're going to use one of these to get the hit points back up to something resembling normal. Because otherwise, we're going to have a bad time. And we're going to smoke a little bit more to actually mean that we can run normally and move around normally. I find it very conceptually funny that Dankovsky is going to get through his bad time in the steppe by just chain smoking his way through it. Yep, we're already... We're already doing bad again. Honestly, I do wonder if it's like worth it to try and stay in the middle for anything other than like absolute necessity. Ooh. My audio just cut out for a second then. Has the audio cut out for everyone else, or is it just for me? I think it was just me because, oh dear, right. Right, we are now gonna... How do I get the viewfinder out again? Whoa, he's right there, right there. Okay. Let me just double check the controls. So, equip, put away the prototype is 1, and draw the gun is 2.
Can't think like that.
That did nothing.
Too high strung.
Back through this district again. So if we're going through here for a second time, should we have a look around a bit more? I wonder if Clara's twin is here. It feels like she probably is. What with all the ghosts that are wandering around as well. We'll have a very brief run around, see if we can spot the twin. If she's not here and is not easily found, then I don't really know.
Don't want to hear this.
Okay, so staying near the fires actually puts you back into the good zone. Oh no. Oh, I thought I got stuck on the terrain for a second then. Is there any disadvantage to just loading and firing the prototype viewfinder all the time? Because I don't think there is. At least I can't see one. Hello. Fancy seeing you here. Hey, look at me, Doctor, and make sure to take a good look. Are you upset about something? Upset? Oh, he is upset. Listen, I can't talk to you about important matters when you can't get a hold of yourself. Long time no see, little saint girl. You move fast, don't you? You're beside yourself, Doctor. Your senses are out of tune, which means you don't even understand which world you're in. You're looking at me here and you see who knows what. No. No. I'm not seeing anything like that. I'm hallucinating because of exhaustion. I should take a deep breath. Count to 30.
Enough. The tune dribbles.
Oh, drumming on the bin gives him slightly more mania points.
Crackling, screeching, living.
Which is good for what we need. Okay, I think we're good. That's fascinating. I fuck with these mechanics.
Misophonia, Denkovsky.
Yeah, I fuck with these. I fuck with the mechanics here. Oh, they brought the bulls. The locals don't even turn their heads. Yeah, that's how they used to dress around here. It's the night of good life to you, Erdem. Here are your bulls. Bikara, are you not glad to have them? Where are those donkey of yours? The ones that came this morning. I remember them sending them to fetch the bulls. You've insulted them. The worms don't want to deal with you anymore. The worms believe you're a bad man. A churlish, ungrateful man. Moi kun. Moi moi. I'll try to do better. Are you going to take our bull's blood? I need to make today's vaccine first. After that, I will get on with the universal one. I suspect that none of these are the correct bull, because none of these are an Aurochs. Berak's solution cannot be Dankovsky's one. Finally! I've been waiting for you, Dr. Dankovsky. As you can see, I've allowed our volunteer orderlies to leave on a break, but they'll return as soon as you give the word. Good. Rest is necessary. Let them have a smoke, visit their families, and who knows. God, they might not get another chance. Consider it done. But what of the third patient, Filat, the termitary guard? Do you have a diagnosis? I haven't put him to sleep yet. I thought he might be useful to you again. I visited his place in the Skinners. Had a look around, spoke to neighbours and someone else. I understand his illness. Just be sure to put it in the document and to stamp it too. Mr. Little, I barely recognise you. You're going to teach me how to maintain patient records now. Here you are. What took you so long, Doctor? Did my mice detain you? You're joking, despite your nerves. It's a good sign. You can relax. I've seen it, and your secret has been uncovered. So you met him. Tried to protect him with everything I had. Went to your hospital so that he wouldn't catch it from me. If we just talked right from the start, we wouldn't have wasted all this time. You've stalled an entire hospital. You're a good man, which usually means inconvenient. Never been a good liar. If I told you too much, you'd know that somebody was changing my bandages. I needed money to feed 2 mouths, so I talked as little as I could. Regardless, I found out. Nothing to hide now. Sure, I led the boy through a hidden passage away from the slaughterhouse. He's just a kid. Doctor, it was hardship that brought him to the cannery. And just like that, that lad put him to work. Young or old, doesn't matter the old Gimskis. I sent everyone to the factory. This might surprise you, but I'm on your side. Despite the risk. I'm no hero, but I was taught to draw the line somewhere. I treat people like people, period. I've done what I could. So you're saying you'd let more people out if you had more authority in such decisions? I'll starve people to death in the termitary, and not just there either. While you were out, I overheard people in the hospital. Aren't you the tyrant who ordered a quarantine? Without the quarantine, the plague would devour your town in just a day or two. It's the plague I restrict, not people. Those are dangerous games you play, Doctor. I'm not the only one who doesn't like restrictions. Today, people endure. Tomorrow, too. But the days that follow, they'll erupt. I told you, you can't humiliate a living being without suffering consequences, and this imprisonment humiliates the town a second time. Try to shame me. As if the quarantine was some whim I had. If only we had another way. This won't end well, I tell you. Neither of us can tell the future. And Philat, I came to talk to you about your diagnosis. Drink this glass of water, please, before we continue. Oh, take it away. I can't stand here. It's sloshing. Take it away, Doctor. Mr. Little. Calm the patient down, please. I never should have dismissed the orderlies. Check the records. You diagnosed all three of the oddities. You didn't quickly die from the plague. You're a mental giant! A luminary! I've asked you before, Mr. Little, please stop with the sycophantic theatrics. I'm just doing what I must. We awaited your verdict with bated breath. What's next? The vaccine? Searching the town for more people with the same symptoms as today's three? The search, then the vaccine. The blood of those lucky enough to resist the plague should help the others too. Consider it done. After that, how much culture should we take? What temperature should we heat to? Don't be overzealous. Withdrawing the blood, please. 450 milliliters at most, otherwise the weakened patients won't make it. We've gotten it down in the last 2 nights. We'll manage without supervision, I promise. Rest without fear that we'll ever disgrace you. So, Dr. Dankovsky, sir, do you give us permission to proceed? Shall we start? If we don't vaccinate anyone tonight, there'll be 300 deaths. 5 if we do, and my work has errors. It's so damn difficult every time. What's going on? I couldn't hear you. Do we begin or not? We do. Nam qui quod vitari non potest min tuit. Is vivere amino quieto nullo modo potest. Okay. Here we go. I've done all I can today. Time to go back home to my quarters. To Eva. All diagnoses were correct. The assistants were preparing today's vaccine. Even my hallucinations don't need me anymore. So self-absorbed. You've done all that you could, Signor. Go on and rest. They wait for you at the still ward. Why are you the one in charge of deciding if I've done all I could? Your vaccine will be ready on the morrow. And would it even free your heart from its torment? What else are you going to do? I could do what I came here for, to get to Simon Kane at last. Okay. I guess we're running. Oh, the restrictions here are going to be very confusing very quickly. Okay. I get it. Daniil, please don't give in to apathy. If I have to fucking down some more strychnine and mania you up just to survive this, then I guess I will. Sorry, I just accidentally hit the draw gun key there. Won't draw my gun when no one threatens me. Interesting. Right, let's fix this.
My head hurts enough as it is.
Vibrant. Everything's so vibrant.
Daniil, do you have to tap on every bin like 3 times after you go past them? Have you got
As
like...
if things are animated.
Have you got little intricate rituals that you have to do in order to maintain sanity? Why are we going this way around? Ah, because the quarantines. Right, okay, okay. Doctor, we're rotating. Leaving, that is. Abandoning our post. The reason being? Well, we didn't sign up for this. They've gone and armed themselves. Not petty thieves, no. These are proper, oh, what's the word? Thugs? They shoot, Doctor, they stab. It's really unheard of around here, raising a knife against your fellow man, and we're unarmed. Are you asking me to arm you? No, we're not thugs. Your capital might be a vicious place, but this town used to be a living thing. We don't have, murders. We have an epidemic. They have side effects. Violence, dissolution of boundaries, desperation. I foresaw all of this. I'm afraid not, Doctor. We're volunteers. We took no oath. What if everyone goes back on their commitments now? Suppose I just go back on mine. Not letting thieves in and out, fine. Putting yourself in front of a bullet or a blade, well, to say it again, that's a whole different beast. The fact that you brought us to this state is, thought-provoking. Again, really unheard of. And on that note, as they say, we take our leave. I brought you to the state? How? Pray tell me. This is an emergency, not a carnival. Arseholes. Fuck 'em.
Tired of this noise.
I don't have any bullets because I sold them. That was a stupid move.
Hey, you. Come here. Got you.
Okay, I vibe with this. This is a bit of like a gauntlet.
Never alone. Things everywhere.
Back the fuck down.
Closer. Oh, coward. Come back. There he is. Closer.
I am stuck here.
Going anywhere. Come here. Hey.
Ow. Fuck off. Fuck off and die. Oh jeez, no! How did we fuck up this badly already? Please, just let me tap on this bin.
There he is.
Okay. Whoa.
Come here.
Fuck off.
Got you. Get back here.
Fuck it.
Hey,
Forgot that there's so much of the world.
come over here.
Phew. Okay, okay. Oh, that was a bad idea. That just made me more neurotic. Okay, okay, we're okay, we're okay. Alright.
It was quiet in Thanatica.
Things are not going well here. Raise the yellow flag. Yellow flag doesn't stand for quarantine, you dum-dum. It's the other way round. U stands for quarantine. Yellow flag means hang all borders. And who are you planning to hang, might I ask? Get us our boat, mister. Boat used to be my hat, you dum-dum. 'Cause your head's so small. How much, dickhead? Do people think differently in this hat? We won't get you the boat. His head is ill-fitting. Oh no, I don't like that. He thinks in mere 3 dimensions. I don't like it. You won't do, mister. Leave the boat be. You think all this tri-dimensionality suits my head? Can I get the boat? No. It feels like it's really easy to just... Can I, like, drift it towards them? I don't think this is going to do anything. I think I'm just wasting time.
Every creak like a gunshot.
Gotta tap them 3 times so that you're safe. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, it's everyone's favorite neurodivergent princess. We'll talk to her in a second. I just want to have a look at everything. Oh. The indoor pond is a weird but nice touch. Polyhedron. Okay. I presume that these are my quarters. Can't do that yet, though. Alright, okay. I'm really trying to get used to the health system in this game. The managing his mental state is going to be hard.
Every object has a heartbeat. Can't you hear them?
Her outfit's improved. You're back. And just in time. You know, a mob is slowly gathering outside the house. I didn't see anyone. I did. They peer into the windows. They're planning something, deliberating. Sometimes they carry torches and sometimes stakes. I think they're up to wickedness. I'll go out and check so that you don't worry. Don't. Please, don't. For my sake. I'll be careful. If you decide to go out and check after all, then please take me with you. There's no need. I won't be there long. Wait, let's talk a little first, like we always do. You said it yourself yesterday. When you're talking to me, it's like talking to a cat. It's the only way to sort your thoughts. You must have brought me so many new thoughts with you. Tell me. You're the most precious listener to me, but my head is filled with miserable chaos right now. Will you tell me? You see, well, first of all, it's clear that the sand pest can't be defeated by ordinary means. We are so short on time. Creating a vaccine takes weeks, and I don't even have days. Which means that we must do something different. But what? How do we find an opening? You believe Simon would help you if you find out where he was? What can replace time when there's not enough of it? Time. On occasion, Eva, time can be replaced with people. But we don't have those here either. As they say, 9 women can't make a baby in a month. Neither can time be replaced with space, although... maybe... Keep talking. I'm human. I'm an intelligent, industrious, courageous human, a good specimen, one of the finest, and I still have too many limitations. Solving these problems takes something greater, a stream, if you will, instead of a point. I must pass through several apertures at once. Go on. Keep talking. I understand. Wait. What was that noise outside? I told you. There are people, and they're scaring me, but our conversation is more important because it will never happen again. Wait, how much time has passed whilst we've been talking? I don't know. An hour, maybe? You spent a long time thinking. Your eyes are mesmerizing, Eva, but not in the literal sense. Wait for me here. Strangers outside Eva Yan's house? This is familiar. Fuck me. Fuck me. Ow. Bad idea.
Yes?
Shit, did I just die? It's so hard on you, you poor thing. Look, some of your hair has turned grey the past days. You're a learned man. Why does it do that? Can someone's hair really grey so suddenly? It can, but only over time. The hair that grows after the shock lacks the necessary pigment. It's not instant. So what's happening out there? What do they want? I made one mistake. Just one? What mistake? Now you're making fun of me? Tell me. What was it? Did you make this mistake in the past? Yes. You see, I was trying to tune down the panic and stop the infection from spreading, so I issued some harsh decrees on quarantine measures. I told everyone to stay home, no talking, no sneaking out. Not everyone found this enjoyable. But it was the right thing to do. It all piled up rather unfortunately. Your regular supply train run was running late and the quarantine was very sudden. Many people lacked necessities, food, medicine, water, and much more. The town became a rat trap and a cornered rat pounces on the cat. It even overcomes it. Sometimes. I've thought it all through. I'll revoke the decree right now. It won't get any worse. No one complied with it anyway. It just led to exasperation. No sanitary measures. There's no authority here. Just anarchy and chaos. To hell with it. I'm revoking the decree this instant. Is it not too late? Well, something has to be done anyway. Oh, boy came here recently, agitated, angry, carrying some papers. I gave him bread and dried apples. He's upstairs, by the table that you sign all your papers at. Yes, I know. That's Sticky, the town's messenger. Nimble kid. Okay. Interesting. So there's a whole bunch of like more analytical stuff that Dankovsky can do here. Familiar kid. Hi.
Their murderer is a steppe demon. A Shabnak Adik. I just know it.
I thought it was Shabnak Adir. So they made a bunch of decrees about the town. Like there weren't enough already. Told me to bring them to you for approval. For review, not approval. I'll only approve them if I find them at least minimally sensible. Hold on though, boy. I know your face, not just from the town hall. I've seen you before, elsewhere. I was your assistant when you stopped the outbreak here in the stone yard. Birdies, gather ye here. Did you forget? You must have the memory of an old fish. Right, yes, I remember now, but that's... When was that? How many years ago? Has it really happened already? Can I go now, or what? I've got a ton to do. Wait, I'm going to decide now, and you're going to announce it, so that it's carried out at once. You'll have to ask the higher-ups, so I just bring you what I'm given. You decree, we carry it out, instantly. You got full authority 2 days ago, didn't you? So use it. We'll obey. As far as I'm concerned, roosters do the crowing, and who cares if the sun doesn't rise? Yes, and I'll use that authority to lift the quarantine. It can't get worse than it already is. Denial, prohibit dying. Effects, none. Okay. So we can't do quarantine despite the fact that that would actually help. Shit. Roundup, that seems like a good idea. What are we low on? Patrolman? I wouldn't do a lot, and I'd just provide more unrest. That would be ideal, but we don't have enough patrolmen, do we? I don't know how we get more patrolmen for this. Quarantine is a bad idea. It breaks our timeline. Food distribution seems like a good idea. Okay, I think this is probably what we're gonna have to do. We still die by day 7, but... Okay. Fuck. This feels like such a bad idea. I need to lift the quarantines for this. It's not a good enough reason. No. Hello.
A town is a gathering of folk. A man is a gathering of body worms. You are a town. You are a body worm.
Hello, Doctor. Thank you for clearing the way for me. I can assume that this is a case of damned if you do, damned if you don't, as my colleague Barak would put it. You're not. You're just a smart fellow who finally understood that I'm a blessing, not a curse. That Simon of yours figured it out long ago, by the way. That's why he allowed me into the town. That's why he took my communion. Is that why he died? Oh, Bachelor. He hasn't died. You're just looking in the wrong direction. He excluded time from the world, and thus became immortal. He's dying, sickening, living, rotting, thriving, all at He found a way. Just a minute. Give me some time to think. I can wait. I have time aplenty. An infinite amount. Now, where's my nearest clock? My sundial is useless in the plague mist. Right. There's no more use for sundials. Any sundials, anywhere. I have defeated the sun. No matter. I'll find a mechanical clock. I figured out how to fight to you. I understand it now. And not just you either. Everything. We've got this. We can do this. Where do we need to go? What do we even need to do? What do we need to do? What do we need to do? Mechanical clock and restart time. Mechanical clock. There's got to be one in here, right? There's got to be one in the Stillwater. There's a house of eternal fucking clocks. Eva, where's your clock? Eva. Eva, I know there's one here. What troubles you, senor? Your day is over. It's not just the illness, it's the chaos. As soon as I've contained the plague, the town erupts into rioting. How do I work in every dimension at once? There is not enough of me. A mire indeed, so let it not your grave become. It may be best to Christ's surrender. At least you've held on to humanity, a feeble joy, though that may be to you. You can but do the things that can be done. No more accept your fate so as it stands. There still can be a victory in this. Town is a space, and so is the nation. There's not enough of me in that space, but the world has many facets. I can lose in one and win in another. You know, as a child, I never understood sewing machines. Like, how can the needle keep going in and out of the cloth without, like, ripping the thread on its way back? Because there is a solution. It hides just somewhere unusual. Is that a clock behind you? Is time itself your quarry now? Would you repair the past? Can such a thing be done? Signor, you know the literature on this. A flap of wings hither, a storm thither, though that one tale is yet unwritten. No, I will just learn a different mode of thinking. Bend this straight line. Tomorrow will be yesterday. I'll start with myself, as usual, and then we will see. Well said. But I knew you not to be a Berkeleyan. I clicked on the wrong option. I'm so sorry. I suppose my remaining option is to become one. Then lay your head and sleep, or will you stare into the clock's face as if it were a stereogram, or perhaps a sacred icon? Perhaps it shall become what it is not. Yes, I suppose that's the thing to do. It will respond, and then there won't be too little of me to go around anymore. I just keep thinking about the day that it all began. I'll start all over. I'll be there. Here I am, in the capital. Telling the story requires time. Time is embodied in an amalgam. I will consume it when we're trying to recall another day. A new day brings new memories. Select a day to explore. I can't go all the way back. I don't have enough time. Thank you all for joining me. And that is the end of Pathologic 3 Quarantine. There's a lot of interesting stuff in that, and I need to probably parse my thoughts on it a little bit more and perhaps do a second run. My interpretation of this so far is Dankovsky is a man stuck out of time, perhaps a little bit like Mikage of Revolutionary Girl Utena. A man that is now going to redo, undo, and rework his entire timeline in order to fix his mistakes. A perfectionist at heart. What can I say? I very much admire that as someone that saves come to my way through Pathologic 1. There's a few interesting facets there. The wandering around the plague areas and seeing ghosts walk around them. I imagine that those are the people that would be there in the previous days that Dankovsky can see when he is slightly unstuck from time. The fact that people, when they die, seem to vanish from his view is also fascinating. Like they don't matter anymore, like he's kind of done with it, like he doesn't... It's not that he doesn't care, but he has other things to care about more, other things that are more important. A few individual deaths here and there can't matter as much when the whole plague quarantine's on the line, and I mean, I get it. I first-hand get it. Every death does matter, and every death always matters. But if you let yourself feel every single one of them, it fucks you up. So I like the tales of that. I like the way that the research is being done and the edicts are being done. And I really, really like the diagnosis system in this. It does feel a little bit more, I guess, robust than previous iterations have been. Pathologic 1 barely has a diagnosis system. Pathologic 2 has what I would term a kind of like a rudimentary minigame diagnosis system, which makes sense in the context of Burak's story being tinctures and herbs and trying to mix stuff together. Dankovsky's feels a little bit different. Oh, that wasn't over? Day 3 in which the bell tolls.
Hide and seek. Tag. Hopscotch. Or we might as well play Ring Around the Rosies.
Good morning to our guest, Dr. Dankovsky from the capital. Did you sleep comfortably? Quite. I dreamt that I could fly. Or rather, I tried to. And though I did succeed, mine was a strange flight, and at no great altitude and horizontal. Less of a flight than a swift glide above the ground, atop an unseen moving platform, but I was yearning for an upward soar, somewhere vertical. And you, what did you dream of? I don't dream. The usual. An empty street at night, lined with full lamps, and at its end a brick house. I walk towards the house and cannot reach it. Your face is very weary. Thirsty, aren't you? I'd say you look much older than your years. I like that you have no grey hair. It's coal black. Not raven, that's a different shade from yours, and not a single grey one yet. I think you have poetic inclinations. My taste in poetry is mostly Horace, so I'm doubtful that we'll be on the same page. You have a troubled day ahead of you. Will you be back tonight? I'll be waiting. Waiting? What for? I think you'll be in great need of a listener after the kind of day you'll have today. I'm not being dramatic, I'm just saying a flurry of events awaits you, many of which will stump you. Not easily stumped. Indeed, you failed to stump me now, somewhat vertical. Eva, let me out, let me out. I think that was it. Okay, now we're back at the main menu. What do I think? I am cautiously optimistic and quite excited. This looks like it's going to be doing a lot of stuff that I really want it to. The fact that Dankovsky can become so, I guess, unstuck in time and perfectionist and neurotic in this iteration of the story is interesting to me. I think that does give him a lot more of a broad depth of character than the original writing left him with. Like, Pathologic 1 Dankovsky is a very good character, a very fun character to examine. But I think this gives a lot more depth to his persona. I admittedly also read kind of Dankovsky's, the things that he doesn't say in his dialogue trees as things that he thinks of. thoughts that go through his mind, unfiltered. There is every chance that he might word vomit an unfiltered thought, and he can be a complete fucking ass when he does that. But I don't know. I vibe with this portrayal quite a lot. I think this has got a lot of interest, and there's a lot that interests me in it. I guess we'll see what happens when the full thing releases. Thank you everyone for joining me. I very, very much appreciate all of your brilliant hard work? Why am I saying that? Why am I saying I appreciate all your hard work? I guess I do. I'm sure you're all working very hard there. Jesus. I may have just completely failed that charisma check there. Thank you all for joining me. I very much appreciate that you're all here with me for this stream. And I hope that I can see you again when the full game is out, if things are all still okay with the development team, and that you can join me for my other videos in general. Thank you very, very much, and we will end the stream here.